Hello everybody, my name is Drew and welcome back to Feed the Beast. I'm still here with the bees. I did a little bit of work between episodes though and wired up another bee room, and currently I'm breeding out some cultivateds. Now these are not all great stock, they're all ignoble. That guy's done. So is that one? Oh good, so we should have some cultivateds in here. We do have cultivateds. So I really want to start this episode off by making the Majestic Bee, our first Majestic Bee. And if you want to remember how we make Majestics, because I actually don't remember, you'd think I would. It is simply a noble princess and a cultivated drone, or the vice versa. So let's go cultivated. Grab one of our ignoble cultivated princesses. And we don't have any drones in our system yet because these guys are slower than dirt. So I'm actually going to grab these 4 lifespan upgrades. I went ahead and made a bunch of these in order to knock down the life cycle of these bees and our 6 noble drones. And we're going to go over to our, we're going to go over to our Mutatron. Put our noble and our cultivated. And by God, we get ourselves a Majestic Queen. Now this guy I'm actually going to automate, because I really would like a large amount of the drones to build up. And I'm going to use the life cycle upgrades to do that as well. Because we also want to get to Imperial Bees. So Imperial Bees are unique. They make royal jelly. And they're kind of the other side of the equation. So we need both noble and majestic in order to make them. So we're going to let our nobles continue to make. And we're going to let our majestics continue to mate. And we'll end up with a bunch of drones for each. And hopefully we'll also have enough bees to breed up to get one or the other as a princess and get ourselves what we need. I really wish you could cultivate more princesses easily, but it's just not to be in this. So there's our majestic. Everything is gravy. I do need an automation upgrade though, which I thought I had some of those somewhere. I do. There it is. And you can see we also have a lot of gene samples. Because I went ahead... Oh, that's empty. Oh, good. You can see here we're out of labware already. Because I made a butt ton of that stuff. Guy's empty. That's fine. So we'll retop that guy up. So we should have a bunch of different samples in here. So like we have, fertility. We've got some more tolerant flyer. We've got a bunch of other things. Surprisingly, no more species from the look at. Oh, there's species right there. Meadows. Species forests. Good. That's what I wanted to see. Because eventually, too, rather than breeding bees up, instead what we'll do, we'll use those drones in large amounts to get rid of the need to breed, because we'll just make our own, right? It would be good to find other bees that have traits that we can use as well, such as tolerant flyers and all that kind of stuff. So I want to automate that. So these guys are running. I am going to grab the life cycle upgrade out of all of these. So there should be one here. And nope, not one there. 2. Oops, if I'm right in that keys. And 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so we have all 4. Go around here. And there's our guy. So that goes in there. That goes in there. Perfect. Now, I don't know that I need the genetic stabilizer in both of these. I don't think I do. But we'll find out in the long run. So today, to take a bit of a break from bees, I actually want to start something with a new mod. Something that I debated very heavily in doing, but I want to get started, or at least make an attempt at Pneumatic Craft. I didn't think I was going to mess around with it, but I think it'll be fun to just try some things out and maybe get to the drones. Speaking of drones, I have drones in my inventory, which I need to get rid of. Yeah, there you go. So I really want to get started with Pneumatic Craft. And if you guys don't know what Pneumatic Craft is, and you never watched, what series was that? Crash Landing, that's what it was. So if you never watched that, well, Pneumatic Craft is all of this stuff in here. And it uses air pressure to do things instead of more traditional, power and outcomes things. You can use power. This is the cool part. You can use a power hookup to generate pneumatic pressure. And it's all about trying to create a balanced system. And I think that that's really, really cool. There's a whole, like, you can make elevators. There's just a whole number of things, but we need to get started with the basics. So the first thing that you're probably going to want to make is one of these air compressors. And you can see immediately that it says max pressure 5 bar. So what is a bar? Well, bar is a measurement of pressure. It's a real world thing, not a Minecraft made up thing. And it tells you how much pressure there is in any given area, which is good. The air compressor works like a furnace. It says right here on it. You put fuel in it, so coal blocks, lava. I don't think lava will work, but maybe it will. And it will make air pressure up to 5 bars. The advanced will do 20. And the reason this is the distinguishing thing is because there are 2 different classes of pressure tubes. The regular pressure tubes will take up to 5 bars of pressure. The advanced will take 20. And you want to keep balance. If you go over that, it will explode. What is this guy? Splits air coming into the heat and cold component. What is this? That's interesting. There's so many things in this mod that have changed. What I want to make is the electric compressor. That's what I want to make, because it's a lot more unfinished. There's also this guy. The machine is useful for having... to install the machine's sole purpose is to convert compressed air into IC2CU2. Okay, that's not really what I want. Is there a way to get MJ? Vacuum pump. A vacuum. I don't really need a vacuum either. Electrostatic? Is this what I want? Oh no, that's for lightning generation. So there's a whole number of different ways to do this. I think where I want to start is just making a pressure chamber and going from there. So to make things, you need to take seeds, which you've seen me get these seeds, and I should have a whole whack of them in here. So you can see over here, there's potion plant seeds, and there's slime plant and ender plant. Well, these make plastics, different colored plastics, which are used to make things. One of the coolest items in the game is the pneumatic helmet, which I haven't mentioned, but you can upgrade it. It's almost like an Iron Man kind of thing when it's all said and done, so that's really cool. But let's start really basic, and let's just see if we can't make a basic pressure chamber. And we're going to need compressed iron to do this, aren't we? We are. Oh, so we get to do something fun. So we need compressed iron. Well, there's a number of ways you can get this once you have the mod going, but I really like the good old-fashioned method of making compressed iron, which is TNT. Will it tell me how to do it? No, it won't. Okay, air compressor, because I'm gonna need compressed iron. All right, well, screw it. Here's how we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab some iron. Let's make some TNT. Oh, we have TNT. Good. Good. Do I have a flint tinder somewhere? I must. I do. Good. Come here. All right, so let's fly down. I don't even care that it's night. Night is irrelevant to me. And we're going to blow some shit up. It's like the best part of this whole mod. I'm not going to lie to you. Where's good? Pretty much anywhere is good. We'll go right here. Well, that was a dick move. Hey, it did it for us. Okay, so, well, that just proved my whole point. Let me dump the rest of this in here. Okay, hold on. We're going to do... Did it work? Yeah, it did. All right, so now we got 46 compressed iron. So now the fun begins. So in the beginning, you'll need TNT like I showed you. And even at the, advanced quote unquote stage of the game that we are at, you still got to start off with the basics. And it involves TNT, so how can you not love it? All right, I can put that other TNT away. And that. Okay, so we've got our compressed iron. And we're going to need to make some sort of compressor. Pneumatic dynamo, block and convert compressed air. No, I want to go the other direction. Flux compressor. Ah, that's what I want. Oh, you are complicated. Okay, so we're going to have to really start out basic. That's fine. That's okay. So let's make ourselves some pneumatic tubes. 16 should do us. And let's make ourselves an air compressor. And we're going to grab some coal. So there's our fuel source that can go in there. And just for demonstration purposes, we're going to go compressed air. And we're just going to throw some fuel in there. So you can hear already that there is the sound of air leaking, like you would expect if there was, a leak in a line. And that's because it's not sealed. This whole system relies on there not being any leaks. And putting on tubes obviously does nothing because it's just extending that. But you can see that the pressure that was in here is just at 0 because it's just venting. But if I close it, you'll notice that the sound goes away. And slowly but surely, this pressure is going to rise. And you can see what it's doing because thankfully there is a whole system of information at your disposal. And it's currently making a whopping 0.4 bars and climbing. So that's the current pressure. What it is making is 10.0 milliliters per tick. So that tells you how much volume it's going to make. It'll give you the roundabout estimate of how many milliliters of air. I believe that's how many it makes. And it's telling you how much, air is currently in the system, which is, almost 100,000 milliliters. But if I break this, it vents and you can see that it is going to rapidly start dropping. So that's the basics of how Pneumatic Craft works. But we need to make a home for this. And I don't know that I want to do this in my base. I think we want to go somewhere else for this. So where should we build this new thing? I could build it in the desert area over here. Let's look at our map real quick. So I could build it in the desert. I could build it over here. I kind of like building it over here, to be honest. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to clear this area out, make it all nice and flat, and then we'll come back and see where we're at and start building ourselves a pneumatic system. Alrighty, guys, we're back and just about ready to put the finishing touches on our shiny new building. So here's what I've built. It's almost reminiscent of a hangar or something, but I think it looks pretty neat. So we're going to go ahead and use just a splash of color in the form of this painted glass or stained glass. So this is, of course, the Factorio, the Mine Factory Reloaded. Wow, I'm getting words screwed up all over the place. This is the Mine Factory Reloaded glass, which I think looks really, really great. So just that splash of blue. I think that looks fantastic. What do you guys think? Looks good? Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now, I haven't put the... Oh, you know what? Let's go back. Let's get some more glass. Wonder if I have any in here. I do not. It's fine. I will just do this. So, we're going to try and make ourselves a nifty little pneumatic system to finish the episode off. So, glass. We're going to want... maybe 3 stacks. Maybe not that much, but 3 stacks ought to do. Actually, or do I want to do stained glass for those windows? Ooh, decisions. No, let's do stained glass for those windows. So we want blue stained glass, which is... where are you? Is that it? Right there. So that should be enough to do all of our... Actually, I've got extra stuff here. In the form of hardened glass. You don't belong in my inventory. So let's grab our glass in our inventory, and we're going to put those windows in on the sides. I think it just adds that little extra touch of color. I'm going to leave these front ones clear just to be a little different. And we'll quickly do it this way. God, that builder's one is such a great tool to have. It's one of those things where once you build it, you wonder how you lived your life without it. It's one of those things in modded Minecraft that, like, whenever I go back to vanilla, say like 1.9. 1.9 came out and I was like, oh, there's so many awesome things. There's the Electron, new command things, and that was about it. I mean, there was lots of other things that happened, but none of them really kept my interest. It was nothing that was like, oh, oh, this is going to be amazing. Totally revolutionize vanilla Minecraft. Nah, I'm good. I enjoy my modded Minecraft way too much. And I have a new modded Minecraft idea series in the works because I feel like Feed the Beast is definitely coming to an end. And I'm thinking that I might go back and do another hardcore map along the same veins of Agrarian Skies or Crash Landing. There's a number of different ones available out there. There's what is that called? Material Energy. There's Material Energy Cubed, which is sort of a CTM complete style mod pack, which I think is really, really interesting because you have to build machinery and do different mod tasks in order to complete it while completing dungeons, all using AE2, which I think is super, super neat. And then there's Sky Factory 2.5 is a more recent one, and that looks fantastic. A definite twist on the classic conundrum of sky blocking. What do I want to get rid of here? Get rid of that. And we get rid of that guy. Okay, so we need to build ourselves a simple system here. What I'm thinking, I need to also let's go get some wood and we'll make ourselves a crafting bench so we don't need to travel around so much. Because we want to make a pneumatic chamber. So pneumatic chambers, let's see, chamber interface is what we want. Pressure chamber walls. So we want to make some pressure chamber walls like this. And we're going to run out of them, unfortunately. But we can go ahead and we can make some of these interfaces. And this will save us a little bit of time, because normally you wouldn't be able to do that so quickly, at least when I was playing some other stuff. So we do have some more compressed iron, which is good. Got these pressure chamber walls. Now, pressure chambers can come in three forms, 3x3x3, or the larger 5x5x5. We're going to make 3x3x3 as our first multi-block structure. I think that's how that works. They may have changed it. So we're going to make this guy right over here in the form of 3x3. So here's where I want to do it. Let's go right here. And the center has to remain hollow. So we'll go around like this. Here's our interface 1. Now the question is this an IO? That's in. Doesn't help me. We'll do it this way. Perfect. Okay. So you can see the sides are labeled. So you can see I on this side, O on that side. Or vice versa, O on that side. So you're going to want to align those when you're making one of these so that you actually have a proper IO setup. It's very important that you do that. Oh, you know what? No, we're missing something else. I need some sort of way to get air into this. So let's go back for a half moment and find where that would be. Okay, there's our pressure chamber wall. So with one pressure chamber valve, I need a pressure chamber valve. There it is. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back and make one of these really quickly, because we should have the materials enough to make one. Knew I was forgetting something. And for giggles, let's make ourselves a crafting bench, which actually I'm going to turn into crafting station because it's better. And we're going to make ourselves a valve, which would be, where are you? That guy right there, pressure chamber valve. Bam. I made 16 of them. I don't know why I just did that. That was very foolish of me. I mean, we will need more later, but that was still kind of dumb. That's fine. Whatever. No big deal. So we're going to put our valve over here. So here's our air compressor. Air compressor can go over yonder. And then we can put our valve, which is right here. And you can see that the multi-block structure completes. And there is our very first pressure chamber. So let's connect this guy up and start getting some actual pressure going. And the blocks are kind of smart after a fashion. So they won't connect to things they don't want to connect to. And you end up with this. So here's our system. There's our output. Here's our input. We can go ahead and start throwing that in there. And it will tell you what problems are with the network. So it'll say right here, there's no problems. Why? Because everything is connected. There is no air leak. And we've got fuel in it. If I were to take the fuel out and it would stop burning, it would say it was out of fuel. And you can also set things like redstone behavior from this menu. And it'll tell you what's super nice about the machine. So it'll say, used to generate compressed air. Super nice. It'll also tell you what upgrades. So these aren't saying what upgrades are in it, but it will tell you what upgrades can be put into it. So for example, with the air compressor, you can put a volume upgrade. So it'll add 1 more liter of capacity for each upgrade you put in. Security, which is a whole nother subset of the mod, which is a more of a multiplayer themed thing, allowing for you to protect your pneumatic machines. And then speed upgrades, so it'll work more fast at the cost of efficiency, however. So that's always something you got to be aware of. But you can see the pressure is now slowly but surely building. And if I click on our pressure chamber, you'll see that, oh my word, we're getting pressure in there. The idea is it will equalize itself through the entire system. And if you have a break, all of a sudden it's not just going to vent from one end, it vents from both ends. And you can see here it's at 0.6 bars, really ramping up there, and so on and so forth. So no valid items are in the chamber, but we can make something. So if we wanted to make something else, let's make some compressed iron using our chamber. Or at least I can show you how to make something like that. Because that's where we're going to be at. Because eventually I want to be able to use energy to do this. And in order to do that, let's go compressor. So we really want to use this flux. But to get there, we're going to need a few very interesting items. We need a compressed iron gear, which we can thankfully already make. We are going to need... no, that's a generator. That guy. We're going to need an advanced pressure tube, which is kind of hard to make. Because you're going to need these pressure chamber valves, and you're going to need an assembly controller. Or you just need a block of compressed iron. Oh, no, that doesn't help me. Yeah. Or just a block of compressed iron. And you will need these whole assembly I/O and a bunch of other things, which we won't be able to build just quite yet. Because it's going to need all these other things in order to get there. But we also need printed circuit boards, which this is where this whole pressure chamber comes into, and it's kind of accentuating the fact that this is a long, sort of drawn-out process. This is not something that you just switch on and congratulations, you're up and running. You do have to progress through the mod, unfortunately. I will dump all of this in here for now. So let's grab 4 more, just for demonstration purposes, before we end off on today's episode. So the way this works is you go over here, and I can click that guy in there, maybe? Oh, no, I can't. Can I throw it at you? No, so we're going to need to insert this somehow. I know how. Let's grab our staff teleportation. I made one of these way back thinking I wouldn't use it. And I was wrong. I'm talking, of course, about our Omnidirectional Hopper. So now we can go back to our factory. And I'll show you how this guy works. This is a super neat piece of equipment. I really enjoy it. So here's our input. And you'll see there, it's now attached, more or less. I mean, it looks a little janky, but it does work, I promise. Skeletons. You know what I might do? I might throw that entrance in full of ineffable glass. so they can't get in. So let's go ahead. We're going to put our iron in there, and you'll see that it's immediately going to transfer into this. And you can hear the doors open and close. And pecker. Knew that was going to happen. And immediately spit them back out. So we want to say item filter, compressed iron. So we only want, it's a little bit basic in terms of functionality, but it does work. Let's go grab that compressed iron again. And I wonder if I have any ineffable glass. Oh, I do. Good. Ineffable glass. Come here, you. So we got that. And I also wanted compressed iron. Yeah. And I should make a... You know what? Let's do that at the same time. Hold on. We're going to make ourselves another travel anchor. Oh, I don't have a pulsating crystal. There we go. Thank God for having lots of resources. That's not what I want. I want a travel anchor. Don't give me things I don't want, game. Because we can go ahead and we'll drop this guy. Like that. So there's a guy there. Oh, it's just too far away. That's unfortunate. That's okay, though. But I'll name this guy Factory U. No, not Factory U. Just Factory. That not set. Ah, there we go. Factory. All right, so we're safe in here. Let's set the filter on this output and say I only want compressed iron to come out. Oh, I need something to deposit them in, doesn't it? Okay, so I'll take that out. So slight oversight on my part. I need to build more of those, but that's fine. So now if I put that in there, it's going to transfer into our cube. Perfect. And you can see, ooh, okay, my mic stand, that as soon as it did, it tried to give us the recipe, but it already made our compressed ingot because there's enough air pressure in here. Now, eventually, this will start to reach overpressure. Right now, we're at just shy of 3 bars of pressure, but once it hits 5, it's got to stay there. If it goes over that, it's going to blow up. It's not it might blow up. It's not like EU where it used to be like it might explode, it might not. It's going to explode. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It will blow up and it will not be pleasant. And you need to build your system in such a way that it will vent all of those things. And there's a number of different ways to do it, but I'm not going to get into it today. That's a topic for a future episode. But at any rate, this is where we're going to sort of make our ending point for today. There's lots of ways to automate this as well, which we'll get into. Obviously, the most simple being the Omnidirectional Hopper. I believe there are other interface methods available to you, although on the top of my head, I don't know what they are. But the general goal here is I'm going to let this guy work for a little while, and we're going to try and make a bunch of plastics while our bees are breeding for us, and we'll go from there, because I really would like that pneumatic helmet just for giggles and experiment with it, and I would not say no to having a few drones buzzing around, maybe defending the factory with some defense drones. Who knows? We'll see where life takes us. At any rate, guys, if you liked the episode, please go ahead and leave a like. You can always find other work I have done in the description box below. And of course, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.